So let's talk about destructuring. Let's create first an object. Nice. So now we have a user object right here. So let's say that we want to get the name. So what I would normally do is get the name like this, and equal the user dot name. Let me just console log it. And now you can see that I have the name here, but there is a better way to do it. So we define a const, we pass the object right here, and do like this. So basically what we are doing is referring to this user object right here and get its element. For example, let me say I want to get the name. So if I console the name, so again, here I'm referring to which object I'm talking, so user, and now here I can get the keys of this user. So here I can get the name, and I can do the same thing for the password. So if I console log it, you see password. But the better thing is that we can do the same thing on the same line. So if I want to get the password of the same object, I can just put a comma, say password. So now you see the result is the same, but we got everything in the same line. Now let's try to get the country. So what we normally do is do the country is equal user address country. We get the country. So now you can see England. We can also do this with destructuring. So as you can see, we have an object, and inside of this object we have another object. So we have to deconstruct inside of the constructoring. So let me just refer to this object right here. So you can see if I console log address, we get this object. But I don't want this object, but I want this the country. So I have to deconstruct this object. Now I have access to the properties of this object. So if I want to get the country, if I console log it, you see that I have the country. The same thing for the city. I have the city. So as you can see here, we have defined every variable in the same line. That's way different than do this. You can see that the result is the same, but we need 5 lines to define each variable. And in my opinion, this is a better way to do it because it's even more readable than do the normal way. Alright, so let's say that we want to change the name of this variable right here that is currently name. So if I want to change the name of this variable, I can do this const username is a new name and then pass user name. And if I console log it, you can see that we have the same value, but this is not a good way to do it. So let me teach you in the right way. So here we have the name, and what we can do is just pass a new value to this. In this case, your name. Now you can see that we have the same value on here, but with a different variable. I can do this for every variable right here. So let's say that we have this password. I want to set to something like user password. So I can just copy, paste on here. You can see the result is the same. But remember that this is not available. So if I pass password, we have password is not defined because we changed the name to user. So we can also make the structuring arrays. Let me just create arrays here. There we go. Now we have here a numbers array. So again, what I would normally do is to get the first number, the second number, and the third number like this. And I console log it. You can see here the numbers. And again, you can do this with constructor. So let me just create a const. So I'm going to just comment this. And what we are going to do is just pass an array here and then pass here to which array we're talking about. So it's almost the same thing as objects, but here we have to make the const and pass array because we are deconstructing an array and then pass here numbers. So let's say that we want to get the 1. What I can do is just make the first number and do the same thing for the other number. second number, third number. So if also log it, the result is the same. But one thing to remind here is that as this is the first element of this array, the variable on this position is going to get the value from here. So if I pass the third number on here, as the third number is in the first position and the value from the first position is 1, what we get is 1. So let's say that we have an array side of another array. How can we get the value of 5 doing the destruct method? So let's say that we have an array inside of array. So how can we get the 5 in the destructuring method? So to do this, remember that the position that we make here is the same position that we have to do here. So here the third number is pointing to 1. The second number is pointing to 3. And we have the array on the fourth position. So to get this array, what we can do is just pass an empty place right here. So this is empty and this is referring to 7. So we don't want to get the 7, get the array. So now we can just pass an array here because we're destructuring an array inside of another array. And as the 5 is in the first position, just get the 5 right here. And here I can pass whatever name I want. There's a different thing that I cannot do with objects. So if I want to pass something like a number, if I console log it, I see that we receive number.